Dear friends, for the nation building, the role of a teacher is unmatchable. All of us will agree that, in fact, the real nation builders are our teachers. Teachers, innumerable teachers in our schools and our colleges, etc. They are the ones actually building the future of the nation in a greater way. So therefore, when we look at the teachers, I am sure that you can also recall the teachers, those who taught you, who maybe 20 years, 50 years or 30 years ago, whom do you remember and why do you remember them? And invariably you will remember the qualities of teachers. The qualities of teachers, not only the content matter, the subject matter, but the qualities the teachers had will be recalled by you. And therefore today what we are going to see, in the light of the educational sector, we will see what are the qualities required for a teacher. Today teachers need to have certain good qualities. And what are those qualities? Because we agree that the qualities which I am going to say, all these qualities may not be found in one person, because each teacher is unique, each teacher is different in that sense, and each teacher is virtually different from one another. But then teachers must have certain qualities. We will see what are the qualities. Number one, a good teacher must be accountable to the students, accountable to the management, accountable to the parents. It's very, very important for a teacher. And a teacher cannot have double standard. He or she must be, what they are speaking, they must doing also. They must doing what they speak. That's why we say a teacher must be accountable. Accountability of a teacher is very, very important today. Second quality we can see is a teacher must be adaptable. That quality of adaptability. Adaptability is, you see the class, when you go to the class, you see the way you are teaching is not going well, then you should change the situation. Adaptability also presupposes that the teacher knows the learning qualities of the students, learning styles of the students, which is called auditory, kinesthetic and visual. These three qualities children are sitting there, and this teacher must be able to understand them and change according to the receptivity of the students. That's called adaptability. Adaptability also according to the context of the place and so on, you must be able to teach. The third quality of a good teacher is that a good teacher must be caring. He should be caring. Care is very, very important, caring for the students' welfare, giving their time and energy, and also very, very loving personality. The students must come to you happily. That's the quality of a good teacher. The fourth quality is that a good teacher must be passionate. Passionate. Passion should be there in teaching. See, as an educator, if I am passionate, I will do extra works. I will have plenty of opportunities to do. So therefore, a passion is very, very important for a teacher. Passion in teaching, passion towards education, passion towards your teacher, the adapting new situations and being creative, etc. So passionate teacher must be a good teacher. And next to quality, that is the fifth quality, maybe he should be compassionate also. Compassionate means accepting your students with love and concern. If they say that a teacher must be taking outside factors into consideration. For example, if a student is coming from a particular family today, somebody has lost life, somebody met with an accident, or somebody is seriously sick, you must understand such students and deal with them accordingly. That is called compassionate. And a good teacher must have another quality, which is the sixth one, is called he should be cooperative. Cooperative with the management, cooperative with the colleagues in the staff, cooperative with the parents and students. Very, very important to cooperate with everybody. And the next quality is a good teacher must be extremely creative. Creative teachers everybody likes, because a creative teacher will adapt to new ways, and the students will simply look forward to see him in the classroom. His expressions, his way of teaching, his communication, etc., etc. Okay. So must be creative teacher. A good teacher must be very creative. To communicate this this concept, he must adapt new ways, so that students will get a better understanding. Yeah, another good quality is a good teacher must be dedicated, committed. Commitment shows that whether you love it or not, this particular job you are doing. If you love, you will do your best. If you don't love, you will not do it. And many of the teachers, come into this profession today, sadly, is that is not their first choice. They tried everywhere, all other jobs, applied for everything, and they did not get. So they landed up in teaching. And in such teachers, what happens is their primary commitment is not towards teaching. That's why the tuition, the money-mindedness, and also other silly priorities coming in towards many teachers. And I think dedication is very important, and primarily teachers must be dedicated teachers, committed teachers. The eighth quality is a teacher must be determined. Determination is not that I am so stubborn, but I am ready to change. Determination is that the challenges, I will take it up. I know my students are very poor in studies now, but I will make them better. I know my students are not so well behaving, I will change their entire behavior. And you remember the story of that movie called Tare Zameen Par, how that one teacher could change the entire classroom setup, entire teaching. We have seen the famous movie called To Serve with Love, how a rogue type of a class has been transformed into the better civilized children. Such teachers are necessary for us. And that is why we are saying a teacher must be determined to give his or her best to the students. And another important quality a good teacher must have is he must be empathetic. Empathetic, much beyond than the compassion, we need to be empathetic. Empathetic means understand. I call it very more sensitive. Teacher must be sensitive to understand the children and accordingly deal with the children. Another quality, ninth quality of a teacher is he must be engaging all the time in the classroom. Make the children so active. Classroom must be buzzed with activities, teaching, learning, speaking, doing. Then the children will be very much profited from such teachers. That's why, and in this engaging class, one good quality I will say is a teacher must be humorous. There should be a lot of humor, and then the children will attract to that. When you speak humor, everybody likes. And humorously you should put forth the things. Otherwise what happens? Students are sitting, sometimes they get bored. So that is another aspect we must do. Teacher must be empathetic, which I told you already. Empathy must be there, and engaging must be there, and teacher must be evolving. And that's a very important thing. Evolving means I learn every day. Last year I was like this year I must change a little more better. That evolvement based on the experience, my readings, my interactions, my experience of classrooms, etc. has to happen to a teacher. The 10th point is the teacher must be fearless. Fearless, that fear, what I mean, the fearless teacher means the teacher must ready to adapt to new ways, to try new ways of teaching, try new ways of class, etc. That I should not be afraid of taking up new ways. Try it out and you will see your class becomes better, children will like. So all these Based on the policies of the school, you can maximize your horizon of teaching, because that is extremely important. Very important quality of a teacher is that teacher must be forgiving. Students, in the process of their growth, development, they make mistakes. But a good teacher will always correct in such a manner that the children will simply wholeheartedly accept it and they will change. So forgiveness is a very, very important quality of a good teacher. Forgiving teachers will be liked by everyone. The next quality of a good teacher is teacher must be generous. Generous in giving, generous in time, generous in talking to the students outside, accompanying them in the assembly, bringing out generosity also shows that the teacher is well prepared. Suppose there is an assembly, and in the assembly that teacher is supposed to give a prayer service today or a talk today. Bring that value-based, prepared speech or a prayer, so that it touches the entire school. Making use of such opportunities is important for a teacher. And that teacher should have also another quality which is called, there should be grit in the teacher. It is a determination. Grit means determination to overcome any obstacles. I persevere. I have come into this school. I have taken up this profession of teaching. I'll make my best use of it, and I will try to make my students as best as possible. So grit is necessary. Along with the grit, another quality a teacher should have is a teacher must be very, very inspirational. They say a teacher must be an inspiring teacher. But then they say, in a lighter way, they say many of the teachers are perspiring teachers. Students get frightened. Students get, the moment he comes into the class or she comes into the class, children feel a lot of pain. That's not a good sign. A good teacher must be inspiring. That students should flock. Who is coming? A teacher is coming. They should wait at the door to welcome the teacher. That is called an inspiring teacher's quality. Because an inspiring teacher touches the hearts of the students. Effectively you must transform the children. Knowledge today they can get from, for example, if they have a mobile set, they can do, and internet is available, they can go to Google, get any knowledge. Knowledge giving alone is not the quality of the teacher. Along with that, you should make the person an integral, developed person. And that is why inspirational quality is very important. And inspiring teachers, the impact will be long lasting. Fortunately, I am dealing with hundreds of alumni, Jesuit alumni all over India. Last 6 years, I am the national advisor to them. And I see the alumni, so many of them so gratefully remembering their teachers, because they are inspiring teachers. I attended one of the meetings in one place with alumni, and that they're all VIPs. Today is the highest post many of our people are placed. Thank God. And even them, they told me some of the examples of their teachers who touched them when they were so small. I think inspiring teachers are the need of the hour. I am sure that you will become inspiring teachers to your children now, so that they may remember you after 50 years also. Okay, let's come to the another quality of a good teacher is a teacher must be joyful. A good teacher will always expressing that joy. Don't be sad. Sad and gloomy and angry teachers are not liked by students. Students will like always a teacher who is happy, joyful, smiling. And that joyfulness is deep in the heart, that comes out. And therefore a good teacher must always look for good, joyful presentation of their classes. Coming to the class, engaging the students in the class. Always there should be something very, very touching. If the teacher has a lousy attitude, the students are going to have lousy attitudes too. I always ask in my seminars, can you buy rice from a petrol pump? We cannot. What is not there, you cannot get it. So if I don't have the attitude of commitment, attitude of love, attitude of joy, compassion, all those qualities which I said, the creative attitude, etc., then I cannot give that. So if I am joyful, my students also become joyful. If I am a person who reads a lot of good books, etc., the students will understand easily, because in my class there will be references, and there's qualitatively a different class, different quality. And that's what students are looking for. So students are going to be joyful if you are going to be joyful. There is a what you call, it is like a magnet, you know. A good teacher is going to attract students. How? Because he is joyful, he is also kind and caring. We need kind people. We need caring people. So care we have already seen. Next quality of a good teacher is that a teacher is organized. Organized himself or herself also, and organized the classroom also. Organized the lesson plans, organized the teaching, everything. The organization quality is very, very important. Organization is a necessary quality for every teacher. Remember this. Teaching encompasses so much that those who are unorganized will be overwhelmed and swallowed up. Good quality of organized presentation is very, very important. A good teacher is very, very patient also. Patience is a good quality. Patience I equate with optimism. We are dealing with the children. We are not dealing with the machines. If you produce a chair, the chair, a Rajkamal company chair, all the chairs will be same, plastic chairs. We have seen it. Children are not like that. Children are unique. Each one is coming from a particular context with a particular experience. And therefore, when we deal with children, our dealing must be differently for each student. And that's why we need to be patient. A teacher must never give up on a student, somebody who is weak. My predecessor, Father Norbert Menezes, has written a book called Zero Tolerance for Failures, etc. We should not fail anybody. Because if I am a good quality teacher, my students will not fail. And that is why we need to give full, total commitment to our teaching profession. And we also must trust that this person can change. Individuals must change, and there can be transformation. So that is called patience. Patience also equated with we need optimistic. Next quality of a teacher is that teacher must be resilient. Resilience means no adversity will stop us. Adversity cannot stop us. We should continue our good work, good teaching, and we will overcome any type of adversities and difficulties. Because I want to be a teacher, I love teaching. Teaching is my passion, not a profession. It's my passion. Then I will teach well. And finally, a teacher must be resourceful. He must have knowledge. He must have the grip of the subject which he is teaching. He must have wisdom and prudence. And so therefore, resourceful person must be there. And students will understand, if you read a lot of books, your quality will be different. Yet your classes will be different, because you will refer, you will read, you will get ideas, you quote from that book, etc., etc. And a person who reads a lot of classical works, etc., the quality is very, very different. I have experienced with such wonderful teachers in all through my life. And we also must be trustworthy. Teachers must be trustworthy. Trustworthy teachers, along with this resourcefulness and trustworthiness also will go, because management and school and teachers and parents and all the stakeholders must feel this person is trustworthy. Especially students must feel trustworthiness in you, because if students feel trustworthiness, they will come and open up to you. And that's why we say every teacher must be a mentor. Mentoring is very, very important. And mentoring, in the sense, you may not have a degree, certificate, or a clinical psychology approved studies, etc. But by being a teacher, by virtue of a teacher, you should be a barefoot counselor. There was a very famous book written by I think Joe Carey. The title is Barefoot Counselor. Barefoot counselor is meant for the teachers, and every teacher must be a counselor and mentor. Today we call it a mentoring. My dear teachers, let us be reflecting over all these points and make our teaching profession a greater service to the humanity, greater service to our students, to build up a better nation for the future. Thank you very much, and God bless all of you.